Hello, my name is Jim McGillivray and welcome to the Pipe Box, your source for all things piping. If you find this video useful, please give it a like and please subscribe to this YouTube channel to see more videos like this. Today I would like to share with you a very little known trick for adjusting the position of your drone top on the tuning pin. When we have a reed in our drone that is too sharp, or if we're playing a chanter that is flatter than maybe we normally play, our drone will tune higher on the tuning pin. Sometimes it will tune so high that it's right at the top of the pin, it wobbles, and it's in danger of falling off. In fact, it will fall off. I've had a drone top fall off, and I can assure you when it happens in the middle of a public performance, it is extremely embarrassing. We want to be able to bring that drone top down to around that position there, which is the ideal position for a tenor drone. Now, we have three traditional ways of doing this. And I should say now, I do have a video on this channel that talks in detail about ways of adjusting tuning position. But I'm not sure that I discuss what I'm going to discuss here today. Anyway, the three traditional methods are: if a reed is sitting deep in the reed seat and the drone is tuning too high, if you take the reed out and hemp it so it sits out further in the reed seat, the drone will tune lower. If you take the hemp off so it seats further in, the drone will tune higher. That gives us a bit of control. Our second way is to use the tuning screws that are built into the reeds. This is an easy drone reed, and it has a black tuning screw right at the end of the reed that goes in or out. If I put it in, the reed is sharper and the drone has to tune higher. If I screw it out, the reed is flatter and the drone has to tune lower. So, whichever way I turn the screw, if I turn the screw out to flatten it, in other words, if I turn the screw this way, the drone is going to move this way. If I turn the screw in this way, the drone top will go this way. Various reed makers have various kinds of tuning screws. This is a Ryan Canning reed, and it has the tuning screw embedded in the nose cone, and you adjust it with a little awl. Bruce Hitchings, with his very distinctive yellow balance tone drone reeds, actually split in the middle. They come right apart, and you can adjust the length of the reed like that. So different reeds have different ways of adjusting the tuning screw, but this is the most effective way for changing the position of your drone top. The third way is to actually adjust the bridle of the reed. So if we adjust the bridle to lengthen the drone tongue, that will make the reed flatter and the drone will have to tune lower or sharper. If I shorten the tongue, the drone will tune higher because that makes the reed sharper. You have very limited control with this method. First off, when you increase the length of the tongue, it also makes the reed louder and less air efficient, and eventually you come to a point where you can't possibly blow the thing and it sounds like a foghorn. So you have to put the bridle back pretty close to where it was. But this can help a little bit. Between these three methods, you put them together and sometimes you can change your tuning position by as much as 3/4 of an inch. But sometimes that's not quite enough. There is one more way to adjust tuning position, and that is by weighting the tongue of the reed. This is a trick I learned in the small pipe world. Small pipers, Uilleann pipers, Northumbrian small pipers use this all of the time. They're constantly weighting the tongues of their reed to adjust the sound and the tuning position. They use things like sealing wax or regular tallow wax. They might use a blob of tape, whatever will adhere to the tongue. What I use is a very easily obtainable product called Blu Tack. Blu Tack is a reusable putty-like material that adheres lightly to surfaces and stays there. It doesn't ever seem to dry out. You can buy it in little packs at any office supply shop. Blu Tack. So if you've tried the other three methods on a drone reed that is too sharp and it hasn't worked, or you've had limited success and you need a little bit more help, take a tiny little smidgen of Blu Tack, take your drone reed and put the Blu Tack right on the end of the tongue, like that. That will flatten the tongue and make your drone tune lower. Now, you will have to experiment a little bit. It doesn't take much Blu Tack to make a big difference. If you put too much on, the drone will be too flat, it will be really strong, and it will sound like a foghorn. So in that case, you just take your thumb, you peel maybe half of it away and get a smaller amount. What you see there is pretty typical of the amount of Blu Tack I would have on a drone reed tongue to flatten it up. It's really just a minuscule, tiny little amount. That should bring your drone top down. For me, using the Blu Tack is kind of a last resort. I don't know, the purist in me doesn't feel great about having something on the tongue of my reed. I shouldn't feel that way, but after 60 years of piping, you get set in your ways. But I have used this method not infrequently, and I especially use it with our boys at school, where we're often changing our chanter pitch and playing in B flat rather than our regular chanter pitch, and all the drones tune high, and some of them need Blu Tack so that they are tuning in a more reasonable position. So file this little trick away in your file folder of maintenance fixes. Take it out someday and impress all your piping friends. That's it for me for this week. From me, Jim McGillivray at the Pipe Box, good piping.